Hi everybody, welcome back to One Loose String, where three white dudes play Dungeons & Dragons on the internet, because that's what we all need right now. I'm Jason.
Is that really gonna be our subtitle this whole time? Is that just gonna be it?
It might be.
Did I turn this?
Yep.
I created this monster.
You're welcome.
I'm so sorry.
But I'm Jason.
I'm Michael.
I'm confused, but also Pepper.
And today,
I'm also-
I shall be running the session. Do we have anything we want
What does that mean?
So, we are always splitting up who is doing the Dungeon Master role for these games. For today's session, I will be doing, or for the next two sessions, I will be running it. Next time, I believe it is Michael. It could be wrong. I could be wrong. And then it is Pepper. I don't know. We'll figure this out after the episode. But we rotate. Right now, it's me.
Okay, it's okay.
But, let us begin. Irvin, Eric. Last time, you both, along with Finn, were welcomed into the CIE. You went through 3 challenges, or 2 each, 3 total, and are now on your way to your first mission. You stand before the large rainbow portal that will transport you to the world. The city of Vendulsa, the old capital. A place that is filled with nothing but wretched scum. A place for various villains to come in and do their dirty work and have their way. The director stands before you. In his hand, he holds a small briefcase. He opens it up before you. Inside it, there are a set of sending stones, as well as a scroll. Take these on your journey. They will help you if you ever have any issues.
Okay.
Eric nods and he says, "Very good. Which ones are rations?"
None of these are rations. If you need food, you can procure it in the world. There's many taverns that you can visit. The scroll is a one-way trip back to here. If you need to leave and get out early, this is what it is used for. But you only get one. The sending stones are also paired here to headquarters, as well as each other. If you need to reach us, you may use them. Remember, 25 words or less.
Eric nods and looks down at his piece of paper. And Eric says, "Very good. So if we have to come back on time, is there like a bus or something?"
What's a bus?
If you have to come back at any time, just contact us and we'll come and pick you up with a nice brown bag lunch. Do you want ham or turkey?
I want appy slices. I want appy slices.
I'm in hell. I'm in hell. And I'm here with you two.
Welcome to the episode. I'm gonna make you cry.
Oh, God,
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
But do you have any further questions for the director, or are you just going to step through the portal?
No, let's just go.
Do you want to remind the people listening who have not had only a week between these what our mission is exactly? Because it's been a little while for some people.
It has. You are here on a reconnaissance mission. Your job is to find what they believe to be a planar artifact that has landed in a location known as the Katana Ward, or the wards of priests and nobility in this city. You are not to make any direct contact unless absolutely necessary with anybody surrounding it. Now, the problem with the Katana Ward is it is currently home to many devils and demons. There are many places open to the 9 hells that can just step on in and out. So it is your job to make your way up to the Katana Ward and see what sort of defenses are surrounding this planar artifact for you all to find.
Okay, real quick, Pepper, do you have any sort of speech abilities?
What does that mean?
Do you have any good persuasion or deception or anything?
Michael, my charisma's a 6.
Michael, you do realize your character is the talky one, right?
I know I'm the talky one. I don't know why we allowed me to do this, but I know I'm the talky one.
It's not so much allowed, it's so much as am dealing with.
We am dealing with it. That is
We am
true.
dealing with it. Alright, I'm assuming you all step through the portal now?
Yes.
You step into the portal, and rainbows. As you are transported through the realms, you see multiple other realms pass before you. A land of pirate ships, a land of dragons, a land of dinosaurs, the future. And you slam down into a farmland. Standing in the middle of it, you see acres upon acres of wheat and other various goods and services. There are carts being drawn by horses going down the road towards a massive city. Built into the side of the mountain, you see a 5-tiered city rising high above. At its peak, an ornate castle looming over everything for all to see. Below that, on another ring made of iron, you see statues of gods and heroes standing fairly tall, I'd say about 20 feet tall. And then 3 more rings leading down until at the base you see numerous guard towers and quarters with a large iron gate standing before you. Next to you is also what appears to be a storage shed and somebody's house. How do you wish to proceed?
Do we look any different?
Your clothes look like that of your silver vestments that the CIE has provided for you have changed into, in Eric's case, kind of stereotypical scale mail plate armor style. And then Irvin, you have chain shirt, right? Chainmail?
Nope, I'm scale mail.
You're scale mail. So you're both kind of dressed the same. Irvin's is a little smaller just to kind of fit his body better.
That's
Yours
valid.
is just broad barrel chested. You look like you stole this from like an extra large size person.
I did go to the big and tall shop.
You did.
You are the big and tall shop.
I am the big and tall.
Exactly.
Hi, Dorothy.
I will say this, the sending stones do have like unlimited charges, so feel free to use them as much as you want.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I feel like I should mention that just to be safe.
I look at
Okay,
Eric.
so we've got the farmland, we've got the walls of the city up in front of us a whiles away.
And then
So
maybe
we should
like
probably go to the
200
pasture.
feet, you're in the middle of somebody's farm right now.
Oh,
We should get out of that farm. I look at Eric. We should find the road, I suppose. Okay,
Shrugs
okay,
as-
Eric. I'm gonna grab his hand and I'm gonna start leading him towards the road.
You
Okay.
follow the road. There are carts led by oxen and horse going with you. Do you try to join in with a group, or are you just guys kind of just going on your own?
Oh,
I could try and join in with the oxen.
Oh, jeez. No, well, Eric, we're people. We're people, Eric.
Are we sure about that?
I know I am. You are undecided.
Hmm.
Should we...
Fair enough.
Should we try and get help getting into the city? Or should we just try and... Oh boy.
I'm just assuming you're making this decision as you're walking towards the city right now. The
Yeah,
gates are
we're
getting
like- we're-
closer and
Yeah.
closer as you're kind of you're
Yeah.
taking a leisurely pace to get there. You're not like in a rush or anything. You don't want to set off any alarms. But this gate is slowly but surely getting closer to you.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna pull out my sending stone. And I'm gonna be like, okay, headquarters. I'm gonna be like, just kind of like talking like to the ground as I'm walking. We're here. Question: if I lost my crossbow. Could I? Would I get a new one?
We can provide you one when you get back, but sending objects through the planes without target or something attached to them tends to be a difficulty.
Could you give me a second real quick?
Yeah.
There's a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh. Hi guys.
Welcome
Hi,
back.
Michael.
So as I was
Wait.
explaining to Pepper, things cannot be sent through the planes unless they are attached to somebody. So if you need to get, like a great sword sent to you, you either need to requisition somebody to come with that and then also go back, or you just kind of put up with it and don't have one.
Understood.
So we have to get a lackey sent to bring stuff to us.
Yes. And it would
Or
come out of
pack mule.
your pocket.
Ah, wait a minute. Okay. That matters. That matters.
Okay,
Well,
so
I'm
we're
seeing what we
walking
have to
towards-
bargain with, or to barter with.
That's fair. I've got a flail.
Let's not barter with our weapons. I have an idea. Can I saddle us up next to just like a cart that's going towards the city or something?
Yeah, you see a group of about 3 people. It looks like a family that are hauling an aged. They have an aged donkey, kind of pulling a cart along that's filled with a large amount of wheat. They're going fairly slow. The donkey has been through a lot and has been with him. He's in his later years.
I look at Eric. Okay, do we want to try to get their help to get into the city? I can bargain with them. I have fake magic.
Let me see what I can do. Can I just real quick try and talk with the donkey?
What?
Yeah, what do you want to say to the donkey?
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna walk up to the donkey and I'm gonna say, "Noble sir, we are on a mission from the gods. We must reach the inner sanctums."
Eric.
Yes. Shh. I'm talking with the man. Yes.
No, that's a donkey, not a man.
That's very
It's just
insulting.
kinda chewing
sir.
on some
Whatever you
grass in
just
its
said
mouth.
is untrue. Huh?
It's just the
grass?
donkey is just chewing on grass in its mouth right now.
Eric stares at it for a long moment and then says, "What wise words."
Its ear just kind of flicks a little bit.
Okay, I've done my skit. What did you want to do that'll actually help things?
Help me. Just
I'm trying.
and let's talk to these people and see if they can get us into the ring, into the first ring. Jesus.
How are you?
I'll
going
walk up to him.
approach them? Okay.
Fuck it. I'll walk up to him.
God, Jesus Christ. Hi.
No, not like that. I'm gonna like walk a little bit loudly so I'm not like scaring them.
Not
They
startling
look at you a
anybody.
little strange. They have not seen a Gith before.
That makes sense.
Hi. Is there something
Hi.
we can do to help you?
Yes, actually, we are explorers from one of the other city-states, charting our way through. We were just charting our way through the woods, and now we're gonna take a rest in the city, and we were wondering if you could help us get in.
What city-state are you from? Did they not provide you papers in order to gain access into the city?
They did. We had a bit of a scuffle with some bandits.
They are bad around these parts.
So, in lieu of that, we have been authorized to offer payment in help of getting in to meet our contact.
What kind of payment do you have?
Well, I'm gonna pull out my crossbow. Not like in a menacing way, just like off my back.
He takes it and the main person that you've been talking to kind of takes it and starts to inspect it.
It's a light crossbow.
He picks it up and like you can see he's kind of struggling to hold it. He's not a strong man.
Yeah, I hold the front of it with my finger.
This would be appreciated. I've been meaning to teach the boy to shoot back home.
Well,
yes, you can travel with us, please. Come along. I'll see. We might still be stopped at the gates, but we have business in the city.
and your new farmhands, I look at myself and my friend, are most eager to help you.
Thank you. We're heading to the Falling Feather. It's a tavern in the first ring. If you see with us to that, we might be able to help you along further.
I no longer have a crossbow, guys.
So what are you two doing? Are you guys gonna help, like, guide the cart along? Are you just gonna walk beside it? Are you gonna ride in the cart?
I was figuring I was going to walk beside and carry things.
Okay.
All I got is, I think I'm pretty strong. Let me double check that before. Yeah, I got a +2.
Yeah, you're strong.
Yeah.
So you hoist up, like, a big-ass keg and just start walking with it. You're keeping pace with the donkey pretty well.
Dude. I brought the keg, guys.
God damn it.
And
I'm just walking on the other side, twiddling, like, one of my tools in between my fingers, because now I don't have a crossbow.
you continue
I've
to
got
go forward.
extra weapon if you'd like.
Question
is
is
it?
he proficient with it?
That's a good question. I've got a couple of actually weapons. Just a moment. I've got a flail. I've got a great axe, and I've also got a javelin.
No,
Any of those sound good to you?
No, it's fine. I have a dagger,
Okay.
and I have magic.
Okay.
But
Works for
you
me.
keep walking along this old beaten dirt path until the gates loom above you. As you approach the gates, they do not open. A guard comes up. On his chest, he has a symbol of a silver flame. He's holding a spear, and he's got, like, half plate on, or, like, a basic breastplate. Halt. State your business. The farmer walks up. Yes, we just have a delivery to make. Me, my family, and our new farmhands here are coming to just make a delivery. Nothing simple, nothing else. Do you mind if we inspected the cart? No. Go ahead. The knight goes over, and he begins to rummage through the cart. You, both of you make a perception check.
Ooh. It's the first time I've actually rolled on.
That's a nat
D&D
20.
Beyond.
For a 19.
Just a
Okay,
second.
19.
It's rolling.
Well, I mean, yes. Technically, it's 19.
Ooh.
What did you roll, Michael?
He's in character.
That's a dirty old one. That's a.
You are still trying to have a
stinking,
conversation with the
disgusting one.
wise old donkey?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I offered him a drink.
Irvin, you notice that the guard pulls out a dagger and slips it under the wheat. And then pulls it back out. What do we have here? Where did that come from? I don't remember bringing that into here. Contraband. You know you're not allowed to bring weapons into the city without authorization.
Can I walk up to the guard?
Sure.
And I'm just not menacingly or anything. I'm just going to say, Mr. Guard, sir, don't mind us, just the simple farmhands here. And I'm going to just, like, kind of lean in. I'm like, I saw you do that, and that's okay. How much is it going to cost for you to undo that?
I'd be willing to look the other way for, let's say, a week's pay here. Me and the boys aren't the only ones working this parts. You look around and you see a couple other guards with different symbols on their chests, different group belonging to different groups.
I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna say, well, I'm a little tight on money at the moment, but what if I offered you? I'm just gonna like twirl my hand through the air. Magic.
You're one of those. What can you offer me?
I'm gonna put my hand. I'm just gonna like very slowly start to put my hand on his shoulder. Does he, like hit the shoulder of his armor? Does he stop me?
He looks at you funny.
The other hand is like completely up. It's like
He
I'm
goes
not.
to raise his hand to stop you, but he sees you. He sees the other hand, and he's just like,
Yeah.
okay.
And I'm going to use one of my infusions for enhanced defense on his armor.
You, come with me.
What?
Inside.
Can I come? I'd like to come. Can I come?
Where I go, he goes. That's the deal.
Understandable. All right, come on in.
I look back at the farmer, and I
They
just
can
like
stay
kind
here.
of. Can they please go and do their business?
We will be done in just a moment. Trust me. He brings you into a little corner office. It's very.
I'm
plain.
standing behind Eric.
There's a chair in
Eric is
front of
standing,
a
too.
simple wooden desk and a decent, like, padded chair behind it. He takes a seat in the padded chair. So tell me, what's a magic user like you working as a farmhand for?
Can I have an idea.
Do something, please.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Because I'm like stammering,
Real
trying to figure out a way
quick.
to answer him. I'm like,
real quick, I'm gonna ask, instead of using deception, can I use performance?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay. Cool. So, basically what I'm about to do is I'm going to try and make it seem like we're traveling doctors or like doctors without borders, but for
Traveling
magic.
clerics.
Maybe not clerics, but just we're traveling do-gooders with magic.
Okay.
Well, my friend and I here have magical hands. We go across this great plains of ours and we help out the needy. That farmer back there, he and his donkey were very sick before we got there. Would you like me to show you? I can do magic things.
Sure. Johnson, come in here. And he brings in one person. You see, like, his armor is the same as his. It's still the silver flame on the chest. But you see that there's, like, a blood stain down by, like, his side that's looks fairly fresh, maybe about 3 days old.
So I look at it and I say, eating with too much ketchup, I understand completely. And I'm going to put my hand where that blood spot is, and I'm going to give him 2 HP from my lay on hands pool.
You watch as he kind of grabs it, and your hand glows for a moment as your magical energy from whatever godly power you have transfers into him. And the blood still stays there, but he kind of moves around, twists his sides a little bit. It's like, I feel a lot better. Thank you, sir. Okay. And he goes, I'm going to go back to my
pat him on
position.
the shoulder.
And he runs off. And you hear him shouting, "Someone cured me! Godly powers are here in the city!"
Oh shit! Oh no, I didn't mean to. Oh no.
I look at the guy, and I say, in exchange for that, I hope some discretion might be in order.
You see him open up a drawer in his desk and pull out some sheets. And he just starts writing, what sort of business are you here on? I will write a report for you, and you can have it to show guards and everything. It should get you through a couple layers here. Let you into whatever area you need to get to.
We just need weird from. Wait, quick, Jason. What's the city state that was all about the religion?
Kingdom of Carconic.
Carconic, yeah. I said we're from Carconic, and we're here to investigate the. Wait, I have
Ward.
this one. Aha, I had that one. Katana Ward.
Ah, here to clear out the infestation, I see. Well,
Here to make some headway, at least.
best of luck to you. I've seen dozens upon dozens of brave souls come in here. I've seen
How
about
many
half-
leave?
I've seen about half of a
I'll take it.
person come out.
Oh. I
How
thought.
many not so brave souls come out? Just a quick question for no reason in particular.
When you say not so brave souls, what do you mean by that?
Cowards. Fleers.
Oh,
Cowards,
no.
like a
I have-
donkey
I
who
have
doesn't
seen
even know
a
how to till
whole
a field.
half a person come out in total. In the 50, 60 I've been here to watch come in, only that has come out, and he was still
Was
alive.
it the left or the right half?
It was the top half.
Oh. Ooh.
He was still alive, but the bottom was completely cauterized, to say the least.
Okay, so you don't really care then if we go up because you're never gonna see us again.
If
Fair?
you do find anything, please tell me. I'd love to hear what it's like up there.
Will do.
He signs your papers and hands you two. They don't look official per se, as this is not exactly government run. But he's like, here you go. These should get you wherever you need.
Okay, Tom down at the dock said it's cool.
Basically, yeah.
So I guide Eric out of the building, and as we walk out, I'm like, okay, so within like half an hour, we've only managed to lose one crossbow, and that's it. And that's not bad. And
You also-
one of my
No, it'll be
abilities
fine.
for the day.
But, do you meet back up with the cart, or are you just gonna head into the city?
Oh no,
if
we've
we
got to go
walk
outside
out,
to the cart to say hi.
yeah, I was
Just
gonna
to
say if
make
we're
sure he gets
walking
in.
out, can we see? Yeah, oh, that's true.
The
You know,
cart's still
Eric, a
there,
fair
but
point.
you see that the one who appeared to be in charge is like signaling from his window to open the gates for them.
Aha.
Okay. Then in that case, I don't think we need to go back out or anything.
Well, you can
long
go
as he
out
got
with
through.
them. You still got to go through the front gate.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Well,
The question is, are you going to complete
Yeah.
your task with them, or...
we'll go in with them, and then we'll say our goodbye.
Yeah, we'll go in.
But, okay, so
They helped us.
you cross in through the front gate, and in front of you is crammed together ramshackle buildings made pretty much entirely out of tweed and wood. So much... every building is crammed together. It's a major fire hazard. The
Hell yeah.
donkey kind of just keeps
That's
pulling
good to hear.
along. The other, the man in charge of that crew kind of pulls it along as they begin to head to the right and start going into another back alley that is the way they need to go for their delivery.
So as they start to fork off, I just like kind of wave and say goodbye.
Do you not care to come with? You helped us get in without issue. The least I could do is give you a drink.
Sure. Friends are always nice.
You follow him, and they eventually go back to a old, beaten and like dirty front of a tavern, and you watch as they begin to haul off all of these large barrels and kegs and wheat and everything. And
I watch because I'm weak.
they start handing it out, and they bang on the side of the door, and out comes a Goliath with a thick handlebar mustache, no hair. He's about 7.5 feet tall. And
I just stare at Eric. Then I look at him. And then I look at Eric.
he walks over to the family. Ah, yes, good. He starts writing up some receipts and things, tears them off, hands it to him, and you see him pull out a purse, and he opens it up and hands them 10 gold pieces. This should cover everything. Tightens it up, puts it back in his pocket, and just starts picking everything up and hauling it inside the tavern.
I look at the farmer and I just say, "Is that enough?"
More than enough. He's always good to us when we come in.
Oh, that's what a welcome surprise that
He's-
concept is.
He's a good man. If you need a place to stay for the night, he's more than willing. I'm certain if you told him that you helped us, he'd be willing to help you for the night. You look around and you see that the sun's not quite setting, but is in about 2-ish hours it'll set.
Okay.
Just don't go out at night. The curfew is very strict. And the
understood.
soldiers will not be tolerant of you there. If you need to travel anywhere, though, night is often the best time to get around, as pickpockets and thieves will not be present there. Just soldiers.
So
don't
it's best
go
to
out
travel
at
at night.
It's best to travel at night if you don't want to get robbed, but you need to be careful traveling at night because there is a strict curfew enforced by soldiers around here.
Okay.
I look at the writ we got. Does it say anything about, like, the curfew?
No, it just says free travel up to the 4th ring.
Okay. I look at Eric. What do we do?
Well, could we get to the 4th ring in 2 hours? It would be before the sun sets? Before curfew? Before mommy needs me home?
It might be tough. You're gonna have to fight your way. You're gonna have to barter your way through some guards. That note will help, but there still might be stuff you have to do for them.
Perhaps we should spend our sleep time here.
Yeah, I agree.
When the sun goes to bed, we should go to bed too.
Understood, Eric. I upon hearing the mention of pickpockets and thieves, I'm going to ask the farmer, do you have just like an extra burlap sack or something?
Yes, why do you ask?
No reason, and I take it, and I'm going to use my other infusion to turn it into a bag of holding.
Okay.
You can do that?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a 2nd level thing.
Oh, holy crap.
And I just take my coin purse and I drop it in there, and I say, Eric, if you'd want to put your money in here.
I don't think I have any money, I'll be honest with you, man.
I have 20 gold. I don't know
just
how much you have.
I looked through my inventory and I didn't see any
You have
gold.
15. Top right of the inventory. Top right of the inventory.
Then yeah, I'll put all my money in there. I don't need money.
Anything else that seems like it would be pickpocketed? Let's see. My thieves' tools. I'll put my thieves' tools in there.
Let's see. Is there anything that might be pickpocketed?
Otherwise, it's like.
I think I'm okay. Honestly, I've got rope and a mess kit and a javelin. I don't think anyone's taking my stuff.
Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. So all our money's in a very inconspicuous burlap sack. That is just gonna be. I'm gonna take my shield and I'm gonna like put it in between my shield and my arm.
Okay.
Because again, it's as
fine.
thin as a burlap sack, so I'm just gonna like stuff it.
That's fair.
And I'm guessing you're heading into the tavern?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody that we immediately see that would be
The most noticeable
talk to.
person is in the back left corner, a Loxodon, standing there
Elephant.
with just a hand of poker and a pile of coin in front of him.
So judging by Pepper's reaction, a Loxodon is an elephant person.
Yes.
Elephant.
Okay, that'd be good to know. That'd be good to know.
A giant elephant person just sits there, and you watch as his trunk weaves around and just pulls the coin closer to him as you hear him give a giant belly laugh. Another hand is mine, as he throws his cards down. And you watch as a human just stands up and walks dejectedly away from the table. He looks to be kind of poorer than some of the other people here. Most of the people around you are poor. There are a couple that seem like they'd be considered middle class, but the Loxodon looks much wealthier than everyone else here.
Before I go over and talk to him, Pep, do we want to talk to him, or should we talk to someone else?
Well, I was gonna say if
My
you want to
immediate
go talk to
reaction.
him, I was gonna find the Goliath, because I guess that's who would tell us about staying the night here.
He's the owner of the bar.
Yeah. So is he visible?
Okay, so you go talk
Yeah,
to him.
he's
I'll talk to
behind
the
the
elephant.
bar. He's pouring out things from his kegs and just placing them on the table. He looks like
Okay,
he's busy
yeah.
right now, but if you get his attention, you could probably hold a conversation with him as he works.
Yeah, I'll go to do that. I'm gonna look at Eric and I'm gonna say, now Eric, if you go talk to the elephant, if you gamble, please don't gamble.
Very good, and I walk off.
All right, who do we want to
Going
handle
to gamble.
first?
He's going to gamble. I feel it in my bones, but he doesn't have any money because all the money's in my bag.
I think we should probably do Peppers first, because I
Mine'll
think
be easy.
most
Yeah.
of my interactions aren't gonna make. Mine aren't as important.
I beg to differ. Yours is much funnier.
So you
All right,
walk up
but
to the
we
bar.
should
You
get
have to
important
kind
stuff
of
done.
squeeze your way into the bar. It's fairly packed. People are getting off of work for the day or getting.
Thankfully,
ready to,
I'm thin.
Yeah, or getting ready to grab a bunch of drinks and just head home before curfew begins. But you squeeze in. How do you want to get his attention?
Hello?
You watch as
Sir.
he just zooms past you with like 3 drinks in his hand and just slams them down in front of him and then immediately heads back to start making another set of drinks.
Sir?
Oh, yes, can I help you?
One room for the night?
Sure, just leave 2 silver on the table.
Okay. I fuss into the bag, and I know we have that. I just have that, so I'll just take that out of my money. That's fine. Silver. 2. Remove.
You watch as he grabs 3 more drinks, walks over to another table, places them down, walks over to the Loxodon, grabs his massive mug, and takes it and refills it. As soon as he just glides past, as soon as you place it on the table, he walks past and it's gone. Replaced by a key to your room that is upstairs. And he just places another giant keg of ale, basically a keg of ale in front of the Loxodon.
I just grab the key, and I'm gonna stand and watch whatever the fuck Eric's about to do.
Okay.
You watch as the
So,
Loxodon wraps his trunk. Eric, as you walk up, you watch as the Loxodon wraps his trunk around his keg and just drags it over to him. And a straw is placed in it as he just begins sucking it down.
No wonder you have to win so many hands. You're missing a hand on that arm. That's all Eric says. He waits for a response. He doesn't have a better
He holds
opener.
up both of his, like, perfectly functional hands. What?
Eric nods. He nods, seeing them.
Alright, care for a game?
How do you play?
Okay, so this is 3 Dragon Ante. It's 3d6.
Oh, okay. I thought we were. Okay.
Oh, you're
It's
gonna
a-
be
it's
betting
actually a
dragons.
mini game I have prepared in case anybody
Okay.
ever wants to gamble in games.
So real quick, I don't have money on me. You know what? I'll do that in character. What do I get if I lose?
I'll place in. He pulls out his purse. 10 gold pieces to start. It's a paltry
Okay.
sum of
And
mine, but it's a good starting bet to see where the thing lies.
I put my bedroll on the table.
How how much is that worth?
No.
1 gold.
Do you have
1 gold piece.
5 of those? Or 10 of those?
Ooh, better yet, I'm going to put down. It needs 10.
10, 10 or if you want to raise him, you can raise him.
Well, heck,
Okay. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down. I'm going to put down my costume because I have I have a deception, like a costume that I can put on to try and trick people. I'm gonna put that down. It is 5 gold, but I'm going to say that it's 10.
Make a deception check.
Oh boy.
Okay. Oof.
You stress
That's
me out,
that's a
Michael.
7.
I don't think that's worth that much, but I will match you price for price with that. And he pulls 5 gold out from his pot.
Okay.
So a costume and 5 gold. Let's see what happens. So roll your 3d6.
So do I roll? I roll 3d6.
Yes, we both do.
1, 2, 3. I clicked the 6 3 times. Rolled everyone. Yes.
Roll.
Ooh.
Roll. I can't
Not
see
bad.
the roll. Oh, 10.
I got a 10.
All right, so now you are allowed to make a sleight of hand check. On a 10, you are allowed to reroll 1 die. On a 15, you are allowed to reroll 2 dice. And on a 20, you are allowed to reroll all 3 dice.
Okay,
This is to
my
cheat.
sleight of hand is a plus. Oh, I can cheat?
This is how you cheat, yeah.
Oh.
Would Eric cheat?
I don't think I would cheat. I think I'm keeping it at the 10. At the very least, I wouldn't cheat without being prompted to. So I'm leaving it at 10.
Okay. You rolled a 10 as well.
I'm not gonna do insight even though I want to. Okay.
Care to go again?
So what happens?
Raise the pot a little more?
I don't have any pot, but I can go again if you'd like.
Why don't we make this a bit sweeter? I saw you walk in with another man. Why doesn't he come over?
I'm just
sorry, I was
standing there,
laughing.
like,
What'd you say?
wide-eyed staring.
I saw you walk in with a friend of yours. Why don't you bring him over and maybe he can help sweeten the pot?
As soon as you both look at me, I immediately look away and just start, like, looking at the ceiling.
Oh shit. I've just lost your name. Pepper, what's your name?
Irvin.
Irvin. I turn and I go, "Hey, Irvin, do you want to play a game?"
I just
Irvin,
freeze.
Is that his name?
I'm standing here, like, looking up at the ceiling, and I just freeze.
Sorry, I'll be right back. And I walk over to Irvin and I poke you in the shoulder and I say, "Do you want to play a game?"
Eric, why?
Well, I tied him, and I don't have anything to bet. I put my bedroll down, but he said it's not worth 10 gold. So then I rolled, but we got you won't believe this. We both got 10s.
Okay.
I know, crazy story.
Okay. I reach into my pocket and I pull out 4 ball bearings. Okay. And I'm going to do all 4 of my uses of magical tinkering
Okay.
on all 4 ball bearings, so that they each one of the effects you can do is static visual effect. And so I'm going to make all of them basically give off like a little projection of the symbol that I saw all those guards wearing.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk up to the table. This is my best attempt at a poker face. I'm going to put them down, and I'm going to roll them forward, and as they're rolling, they're all going to project that image.
What do you need to know about them?
Oh no, this was my bet.
Oh.
Well, you know what? We can find things out.
I
But,
thought you were bringing that. He thinks you're bringing that over to ask questions about the fucking knights groups that are all around here.
Oh, and he says that. I'm like, oh no, this was my bet.
He picks up one of the ball bearings and kind of inspects it. It's tiny in his hand.
Yeah.
How much do you think each of these are worth?
I don't like to put a price on my abilities.
Everything has a price, my friend. So please, put one down.
Dude, real quick, I don't remember. Is magic a thing here? That's
Magic
normal?
is a thing, but
It's
not
kind
a
of a
lot
thing.
of people have it. Like, it's a
Yeah.
fairly uncommon thing.
I've basically been using Magic Michael to bluff our way through this city.
Yeah. So I'm going to say, well, my friend did work here. It's at least 10 apiece.
One of you make a persuasion check.
You.
I'll
You.
roll.
You do it.
roll.
Mine's
You
a
want
negative
persuasion?
2.
Yes, persuasion.
Mine's a +4. Oh no, that's performance. Shit. Ignore that one. That one's performance. I wanted persuasion. Roll I know, that's a performance. There we go. Alright. That's a 9?
Fucking dog shit.
I'll place 2 gold in for each of these. On top of
Okay.
the 5 I had originally placed in. It's 11 gold total. Or sorry,
Okay.
13. 8 plus 5.
Yeah. So, we're matched now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Okay.
So, who's
Magical
gonna roll
ball
the
bearing.
3d6?
I'll do it.
You go ahead.
Because you did the first one, and I'll do this one. Ooh! Bitch!
Ooh, 16.
Are you
I got a
gonna
60.
try and cheat?
No, I got 2 5s and a 6. I'm good.
All right. You rolled a 17. You watch as he just kind of grabs his trunk. Would you care to play another hand? Maybe earn this back.
Hold on. Can I do insight to see if I saw him cheating?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that because now that I'm not playing, I would be. I'm like not looking for it, but that's a
I mean, he's a shady
12.
man.
That's a 12.
Nothing quick. Nothing you could notice.
How many did he switch, Jason?
1.
Jesus. Oh, fucking dog shit.
He
No,
slides it
I mean,
all over,
I
and-
literally, I look at Eric and I go, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Have a good afternoon, sir.
It was a pleasure playing with you. I will be here again tomorrow night should you ever need some assistance or want another game.
Do we want to
okay.
ask him anything about the guards?
Well, no. As we're walking away, I'm gonna go back into my pocket. Actually, oh wait, I have to wait.
I gotta get rid of my bedroll.
Oh no, I can do it. Okay, so I'm gonna reach into my pocket, to more ball bearings because you have pouches of like 500 or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm gonna
5,000.
I'm gonna touch 4 more and do the same thing. So the 4 he has are immediately gonna lose their magic as I walk away.
Okay. Do you watch him as they lose their magic?
Nope.
Okay. You just head upstairs into your room.
Mhm.
It's a pretty standard room. There's one bed, a small little wash basin, and
I'll sleep in the wash basin.
a small window looking out into just houses. There's no. It's not a good view. It's like you're standing at a really crappy hotel that the only view is other hotels.
Great. Well, I don't care. As we go into the room, knowing that I just cheated a man, I'm gonna can I put something in front of the door?
Yeah, there's
Could I
like a
put
little
the wash
chair.
basin in front of the door and sleep there?
Oh, that's true. You could just sleep against the door. You're a big motherfucker.
I'm heavy.
Well, and you didn't lose your bedroll. Look at you.
No, he did. Oh, no, he didn't.
I did lose.
No,
I
he didn't.
You swapped.
No?
You took the bedroll back and you lost your costume.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you have a bedroll, and I guess I'll sleep in the bed.
I'm gonna stuff my bedroll into the wash basin, and just kind of curl up in there like a dog.
You do not fit.
Eric,
You could get like 1 foot in there.
do you want the bed, Eric? Because you're much bigger.
Oh no! I'm used to this. It's fine. And I try and get back into the wash basin as best I can.
Still
It's
too
like a
big for it.
pail. It's a pail. You're trying to put your
I know,
body in a pail.
I'm imagining it's like
Yeah, it's
this
not that big.
right?
It's about
To wash
Michael's
clothes
size.
in. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
boy.
about that big. I'm basically like shoving myself in as best I can.
It's not
Okay.
working, but you can try.
That's all I'm doing.
Eric. Okay.
Okay.
And I guess we'll sleep here for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see a reason not to.
Okay, that's a high roll.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear.
As you go to sleep for the night, you get about a solid 4 hours, enough for a short rest.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, take a short rest if you want to get any abilities back that get back on a short rest.
Okay.
But in the middle of the night, you hear a commotion downstairs as you just hear screaming as if someone slammed in through the door and, like, collapsed on the floor.
Yeah.
That was,
What?
so we heard that sound outside of our door?
Not outside of your door. Like, your guys are, like, right above the actual tavern part. It's, like, right below you.
Okay. I kind of stretch, and I go, well, better get to adventuring, and I roll out of the wash basin.
Your head is very wet, and as you try to roll out, it tips over and just sloshes, like, your chest, basically.
Gah! Ah!
Irvin, you
we
just
wanna-
hear Eric screaming because he just had cold water splashed on him.
Ah, Jesus. Eric, why are you yelling? What is that downstairs?
I'm just sitting there. I'm just sitting there, slowly wiping water off of me, and I go,
Oh,
erosion.
oh
hear
Eric, do you want
loud
help?
Footsteps running down the hallway next to you and just shouting, "Does anybody have? Is there a healer here? Anyone?" As they scream, as they fucking run downstairs. Couldn't think of the word. Sprint. That's the word I was thinking of.
Sprint. Yeah. I'm going to I'm gonna shrug and I'm gonna stand up. I'm basically wearing like pajama pants. I'm guessing. I'm basically wearing like burlap pajama pants, and I'm going to just walk out and say, "I can heal."
Good. Please. You see the Goliath like usher you over, and standing and lying on the ground in a pool of their own blood is a female tiefling with deep purple skin and long black hair.
I'm going to walk over. I'm gonna walk over, and I'm gonna click my tongue, and I'm gonna say, "Hornitis. I don't know, but I can do something about the blood at least." And I'm gonna
I'm just standing at the top of the stairs, just like rubbing my head.
How many health points would it take to is this person dying actually?
Very close to it. If you were to actually make a medicine check.
Oh, that's a +2. That's not awful, I guess. It's a 16.
16. You see a large, like, stab wound in her abdomen.
You.
She took, like, a full sword to the stomach. It'd take a decent amount to heal her, but you could stabilize her with a few HP.
How much would with a 16? How many HP points should I give her for her to be able to tell us what happened?
I'd say like 4 or 5. That'd be enough to like stop the bleeding.
I'll give her 4. That'll leave me with 4 lay on hands still, and I've got a decent chunk of health, so
Thank you.
I'll give her 4.
She like taps you on the shoulder and feels your skin and is very confused for a moment because it is stone. What brings you?
Did I ever mention that I'm a statue? Did I ever mention that?
Not today.
No, not to them.
Oh,
And thank God.
okay.
Hi. Thank you. Who
You're
are
welcome.
you?
As soon as she says that, I just... if, like, the camera rack focused back to me on the stairs, it would just be...
Oh, no.
I
Sweet
stand
hell.
up. I'm kneeling down to heal her, and then I like straighten my chest and I say, I am Erik Steelguard and his steed. Centuries ago, I, Erik Steelguard, conquered my world. Then I was turned to stone by a nefarious necromancer. 1 year ago, I was revived by a less nefarious necromancer, Egog the Defiler, my papa. After decades between life and death, my goal is clear.
She just stares at you for a moment, and the Goliath just gets up. It's like 3 a.m. right now. He pours a drink and just slams it.
I look at him and I go, I look at the Goliath and I just...
He pours another one. He makes the symbol of like smaller, bigger, bigger.
I just point to Erik.
He understands, and he pulls out 2 like the size tankard that the Loxodon was drinking, and just opens it and turns around and looks back at Erik. The tiefling looks up at him, and her eyes are like a deep glowing purple.
So I'm gonna point to the horns. I'm not gonna touch the horns because I don't know the, I don't know how tieflings do, so I don't want to offend her. So I'm gonna point to the horns and I'm gonna say, "What happened here?" I say, not wanting to offend her.
Generations ago, it's a whole thing. I have horns and purple skin. I've seen weirder. It's fine. She stands up and hobbles over to the bar. And looks
Where you would see me dunking my head into one of those giant things.
Are you screaming?
He's bobbing for apples.
There is bubbles coming out of me just exhaling, trying to like almost consider drowning myself.
He's like a husky at the water dish. He's just...
She hobbles over and like leans onto the bar for support. They attacked me in the night. We might need to start making a move soon. The Goliath looks at her and there's not enough people to help. We can't just take the fight to him.
If you guys need help moving, I can carry a couch.
The bubbling stops, and I just pull my head out.
Does Irvin have any like facial hair or anything?
Nope.
Okay. So instead of you just see like drips of water or of mead.
Oh, beer.
Beer,
yeah.
Just kind of landing on it. The Goliath pulls out like his bar rag and just places it under where you're dripping.
I grab it and I just, in one fell swoop, just...
Like, we can't. We can't wait. His soldiers are attacking, and he's rounding up anybody who says anything. You might be next, and I can't have that happen. The city needs to be free.
I'm gonna kind of lean over to Irvin, and I'm gonna say, "This sounds like a subplot. Do we want to do this?"
This is more just shit that's going on in the world. I'm just like, yeah, sure, I'll throw this in here.
Oh my God, Michael, why? Don't talk to me ever,
What's that?
ever. Oh, fresh hell. I
You hear a
I don't
pigeon
even-
coo in the background because you're metagaming.
fuck.
Metagaming.
I stare like in the quarter distance, like my eyes glaze over. Eric, do we want to help these people?
Sure, I'm already awake.
I just turned to the Goliath. We never got his name, did we? Nope. Hey, barkeep. Barkeep.
The name is Torius.
Is your first name Vic?
No.
Ah.
That is my first name.
You sound like you're in a bind, and I stare at Eric for a second, and we're also in a bit of a bind. Sounds like the basis for a deal.
The Rat King has been hunkering down on people who speak against him. Myself and my associate here, Larissa. We have been trying to bring Vendosa back to some level of self-integrity, importance. We want to make it its own independent location instead of just a lawless city of anarchy.
Yeah,
King
bring it
doesn't
all
want
under one
that.
roof. That makes sense.
He likes his freedom. He's the de facto leader here, but not officially. He runs the keep. But the problem is, he's made a deal with the demons. They protect him and people getting up to the 5th ring.
I'm pretending to just hear this for the first time.
Yeah. Instead of... And in exchange, they let him pass through freely and torment anyone who happens to come into there.
Well, he doesn't sound very nice.
He is not nice. He murdered my family. Larissa, speaks up, still clutching the side of her open wound.
That is a
Well-
no-no.
We have need of getting to the 4th ring.
Okay. I think we might have an agreement here.
Have you heard anything of a artifact being
There was a
uncovered?
shooting star not that long ago. I think it landed in a temple dedicated to Arathis.
Yeah, that. We need to go there.
Oh.
We don't need to go
Shooting
inside.
star,
We just
everything?
we need to scout there. That's all, and then we'll leave. So what's that worth to you, Eric? What are you doing?
There's a family trapped in that ward, not far from that area. If you can help them get out, we might have an agreement.
I look at Eric and I just kind of whisper, "Our first deal."
Come with me. And she stands up and goes behind the bar and down a set of stairs into a cellar.
I go to grab my drink and it's very heavy, so I have to put my hand under it.
The Goliath goes down too. You two are alone in the bar right now, unless you're following them.
Oh, the Goliath also went down?
Yeah.
Yeah, so while we're here alone... Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna follow them, but if we want to stay here, we can.
Well, before we go down, I would put my hand on Eric's shoulder and... Okay, so we are just finding out how heavily guarded the church is. We are not supposed to go in, right? But if we have the help of these people,
Mm-hmm.
Do we go in?
Sure.
Let's play it by ear.
My ears don't actually go anywhere. They're carved out of stone.
Then how are you hearing me, Eric?
My papa never told me.
Okay, let's go.
You follow them down into it. You watch as the Goliath pulls open one of the kegs that's sitting there, and inside are just a bunch of weapons. Not alcohol or anything, just weapons. And
Is there a crossbow?
yes. Do you need anything for the journey?
Do you have a crossbow?
You have a crossbow?
I had to give mine up to get into the city.
He pulls out a crossbow and hands it to you. Will this suffice?
Yeah.
And then he reaches into another keg and pulls out 2 little red vials and hands one to each of you.
I know what this is going.
They are minor healing potions.
Yay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So let me add that to my, you take one, I take one.
Larissa here
So,
will lead you through the tunnels
God.
up to an entrance that will let you get into the ward. It might not get you exactly where you need to, but these tunnels run throughout the whole city.
So this will get us close to the star?
This will get you into the ward, but maybe not close to the church.
Okay.
Probably to a gift shop or something.
Ooh. Could we stop by the gift shop?
I close my eyes and wince. Sure. Eric, we can stop by the gift shop.
I don't know if it's still operational, but
Probably
there was a good
not.
gift shop up there.
I
have been looking for a good magnet that says I like it here instead of at my house. I like it here at this location. Yeah, okay. So
Ready
we're
when you
gonna
are.
go-
You watch as Larissa, she opens a secret passageway, and hanging along it are a series of what look to be like ancient gas masks. You might want to take one of these with you. Don't want anything invading your thoughts.
I don't have...
Aww. He's actually right.
I'll take one. I'll put it on.
Okay.
Sure.
So you head through, and it's a winding series of corridors. Larissa has to take a couple different paths and archways to get through. There are some that have just collapsed from years. And as you head deeper in, you notice a mossy fungal growth begin to spread and take over throughout the thing. There are mushrooms along the walls, and there are just spores everywhere.
So these are in the tunnels underneath the city, all these spores?
Yes.
Okay. Do either of us know what these spores are by any chance?
Make a history check. Or no, make a nature check.
The one intelligence skill I'm not proficient with. That's a 15.
It's a 7.
Both of Irvin, you have a faint idea of what this is. You think it's probably related to myconids.
Gross.
For those who do not know, myconids are mushroom people.
Yep. So as we walk by it, I'm going to lean over to Larissa and say, how long have the myconids been a problem?
Quite a while. They're having a large-scale turf war with kobolds down here and various other creatures of the Underdark.
Oh, joy.
Just watch your step. And she points down to the side, and you see moss and such creeping up over a partially eaten kobold corpse as it is dragged away.
Oh,
By the
fungus
moss?
is
Yes.
dragging it away?
Yes. It is feeding off of it and helping it grow.
Okay, time to go.
I'm gonna like elbow I'm gonna elbow Irvin a bit, and I'm gonna go. He seems like a real fun person, huh? Yeah, fun. Yeah.
Is this what it's always like with him?
I'm finding out.
My deepest condolences.
I hold up the beer.
I wouldn't drink that. You have a gas... Do you take off your gas mask to drink it?
Oh, no, I guess I am wearing a gas mask. I can't drink that.
You
Well,
pour it
that's
directly
unfortunate.
onto the gas mask.
I do the thing where, like, you go to drink a bottle of water, but the cap's still on. I go to drink, and I, like, hit the... And I
like
just,
when
like,
you're
I, like,
drinking
visually
something-
deflate a little bit. I was like, oh.
You might not want to finish drinking that.
I just pour it out as we walk.
You watch
It's like
as
when you get
you
Starbucks
pour it,
and you still have your
moss
mask on.
literally just grows where you pour it and chases after the trail as you move.
I drop the cup. I drop the cup. Ah!
So, there's real active mushrooms that I'm noticing. Maybe we should get going a little faster, huh?
She kind of begins to pick up the pace and move faster.
Yeah.
You see, as you get further in and get closer to it, you move out of the moss and you start to smell like dung and feces and such. You see an
Great.
alcove on the inside that has like full-grown myconids just up on hooks drying out, some of which are already partially eaten into, like they were just hanging there and someone walked up and took a bite out of it and just ripped it off.
Ah, the kobolds.
Keep moving faster.
Ooh.
We are not stopping here.
Nope, absolutely not.
And you come into a very dark corner with like a single torch barely staying lit. Up this ladder and take you into the katana ward.
Okay.
The family should be located somewhere in here. I believe they're in a temple dedicated to Tyr.
Okay. Why? These deities sound familiar to me, yeah?
Yeah, you kind of know them. There are books around the CIE that have sort of information on different
Local
gods
guides.
you'd find.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
gods
I'm
are
a
something
really
that
good
don't really
paladin.
change throughout the planes.
Yeah. The way their worship might change, but them themselves, not really. Cool.
But gods are in an extra planar blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
We didn't want to make new pantheons for every single place we visited.
Pantheons are hard, y'all.
Pantheons are very hard.
Okay.
But
I've
do you
got a
have
0
any
to my religion.
Do you have any final questions for her?
So when we get out, which direction do we go for the whole
Head towards the keep
star thing?
Towards the keep for the family.
for the Rat King. Head towards the keep to the Rat King and you will find where you're looking. The temple to Tyr should be not far off from where you are.
Okay.
We'll keep our eye
Where
out.
are we sending the family?
Send them
Back
back
here?
here.
Okay, cool. Do we need the gas masks up there?
You should not.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as we're going, yeah. Well, I was gonna say, hand me the mask, yeah, and I can put them both in the bag of holding.
Okay.
We have gas masks now
And
that do
for this
something.
session.
yes.
Well, we can take it with us, I think.
yeah, you can take those are the type of things you can take with you. They're just kind of here.
Yay!
And as you climb up this incredibly long ladder, you open the door up into the katana ward, and that is where we will end part 1.
Oh my god!
God, we're so awful about these endings so far.
No, I just was like, yeah, sure, cliffhanger. Leave it for next time. But
No, that
yes,
works. That works. That works.
yeah. That was part 1. Tune in next time for part 2, where we will continue this little jaunt into Vendulsa as we get to see demon-infested Holy Lands. You know? Yeah. Fun stuff.
You know,
but...
it's an easy first session. Just demon-infested Holy Lands. It just you thought we'd just breeze through it.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Yeah. So, thank you all for watching and or listening. I don't know, whatever we do here. But tune
Keep
in
an eye out
next time.
for when that next episode comes up. Yeah, keep an eye out. We don't know what our schedule is going to be right this second as we record this, but we're going to do our best to get it out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Woo!
So, until next time. That was part 1.
Yay!
Next time for part 2, where we will continue this little jaunt into Vendulsa as we get to see demon-infested Holy Lands.
These stallions.
Yeah. Fun stuff. But...
It's an easy first session. Just demon-infested Holy Lands. You thought we'd just breeze.
Started off easy.
It'll be great.
So, thank you all for watching and or listening. I don't know, whatever we do here. But
Keep
tune
an eye
in
out
next
for
time.
when that next episode comes up.